Welcome to Weekly Word with Stitched Head and Heart Project. I am Haley Hallock. I am the owner and operator of said Stitched Head and Heart. I am also a psych-k facilitator, both the basic and advanced, and I also do hypnotherapy. So I wanted to talk today a little bit about the relationship. We've been discussing relationships for the last 4 weeks. So I've been discussing more of the external relationships, relationships we have with our coworkers, with our bosses, with our intimate partners, with our children, and how to sustain those and create healthy boundaries and compromise but today I kind of noticed among many of my clients that there is a relationship with self that is of the utmost importance. And a lot of times we focus on the outside when in most ways it's most important to make sure we're good here. So I thought, well, let's bring some attention to that. So I noticed that most of my clients that were in situations that were less than favorable, their ability to blame themselves and, do the shoulda, coulda, woulda, talk to themselves, their ability to do that was very unkind. And one of the things that I kind of encourage my clients to do is to kind of discuss with themselves, how often am I speaking to myself, and how often is my internal monologue negative self-talk? Is it abusive? Is it something I would say out loud to someone else? And is that fair? So that's one of the exercises that I encourage my clients to do, to just begin to become mindful of the things that you're willing to say to yourself that you would not say to other people. And there's a typical basis human behavior, and it's called hindsight bias. So we have this creeping like determinism where we feel like we knew it all along, or we should have known it all along. But the truth is that if you knew it all along, if you knew that you could have avoided said disaster in your life, do you really believe, like deep down within your heart and soul, that you would have still walked up to that edge and that cliff and jumped? Do you really think that you would have? I think give yourself the benefit of the doubt. I think that when we begin to become mindful of the things that go on in our own brains, with our own self-talk, and the shame and the guilt that we pour onto the relationship that we have with ourselves, when we become mindful of that, we realize that we wouldn't talk like that to other people. And so to have a healthy relationship with yourself, to create for yourself something that's honorable and that's very loving, you have to be equally as mindful of that relationship with yourself as you do in relationship with other people. So a couple of things just to remember. So with hindsight bias, it's that I should have known. I knew it all along. I should have listened to my intuition. I shouldn't have dated that person. I shouldn't have went into business with that person. Whatever it may be. And then we blame and we do the self-shame and we do the negative self-talk. So the first and most important thing is to become mindful. You listen to the conversation that goes on with your internal monologue as diligently as you do in relationship with other people. Be very cautious with your words. Don't do the hindsight bias thing for yourself. It's just, you couldn't have known. And then in addition to that, if it's becoming too difficult for you to, and you hear the talk, but you don't know how to circumvent continuing that talk, I encourage you to do this exercise. I want you to talk to yourself like you are your own best friend. So visualize your best friend discussing that event or that mishap or that mistake or that poor decision. Visualize your best friend and what your best friend would say to you, until you become your own best friend. And your internal monologue is a positive monologue. It's a gentle monologue. It's a monologue that counts on you for your better days and your better qualities and the true individual that you are, and honor and be gentle with yourself the same way that you would be with someone that you love, because you should be loving yourself just as much. And that relationship with yourself, it will grow. You will be more accepting of yourself. In addition, you won't be doing things out of shame and guilt and fear. So those motivators are unhealthy motivators. The motivation should be out of self-love and honor and health and wellness. So I encourage you to do those couple of things. Be mindful first and foremost. Just don't do your shoulda, coulda, woulda talk. And then going forward, your basic talk needs to be that of a best friend, what they would say to you. So I encourage you guys to practice this, and if you can practice it for a week, you'll find that you'll get into the groove of things, and it becomes easier and easier and easier. And then you'll find your motivations and your ability to bring things into fruition for yourself in a loving and gentle and honorable way. All of that stuff is going to start popping up and being easier and being more well-versed within the mind. So I encourage you all to do that. I encourage you all to be loving with each other in relationship as well. I think that there's a lot of black and white thinking. I think that there's a lot of, just unhealthy talk, unhealthy listening in the world right now. And if you can, be that light to yourself and then to others, that's really going to be the best and most effective approach. We really need to begin to spread some gentleness and some love and some peace among us. So I encourage you all to do that, not only with yourself but with others. I encourage you guys to ask any questions that you have, concerning this talk, concerning the last 3 weeks, or if there's a talk that you want to hear or question that you have, go ahead and put that below the video, and I will be reading through those, and share us with your friends. We are on all social media under Stitched Head and Heart Project, or Haley Hallock. So I pray that you are all having a fantastically blessed day. And until next week, I just say to you, blessings.